Go with Sonic Fox, I believe, where he did it in between the series, which he was allowed to. People got mad, but hey, if you're allowed to, do it.
Yep. So usually you're in the unfamiliar second player side and what you're used to doing because you throw players off. But guess what? We have a draft.
Hell
so
yeah.
Get off of Tekken, get back into Dota, and let's get into the game. It's North American Finals, folks. Best of 5. This is for the big piece of the pie here. Quincy crew coming in with the winner's advantage, if you will.
Yes.
Going right into the grand finals after a stellar round robin performance.
Really
Evil
was.
Geniuses did have to battle their way through a previous best of 3, which did go the full 3 games. So maybe they're either warmed up and ready to play, or they're already feeling a little withered. I don't know. We'll have to wait and see based on this.
Say at least they're going into this and they played 2 very fast-paced games last, so I think they're going in with a pretty positive mindset. Like, yo, we just ran over these guys. That was easy. Now maybe we'll bring it back. Maybe they won't ban TB, and we'll get another first pick TB because that was getting banned in the previous series.
True. Coming out of the gate here, a couple of icy heroes going to get a lot of hate as we get rid of the Winter Wyvern and the AA on Evil Genius's side. And of course, Quincy crew going to get rid of the Shadow Demon and Death Prophet. AA could have meant a variety of things. Obviously, Death Prophet being one. Maybe they want to creep into Alk later. Maybe they're going for Huskar. Maybe they want some heavy heal sustain. Necro. You know, this opens a lot. Timber. This just opens a lot of opportunities for them.
I do think the AA I think it was for the Death Prophet because I'm not a big fan of first pick Timbersaw, but first pick Death Prophet is simply amazing. So they banned the AA immediately. They're like, well, the only truly good first pick here against that is DP. So usually it's 1-to-1 counter picks. That's a straight up 1-to-1 counter ban for me.
Otherwise, Chen, I think, had been a pretty prominent first pick.
He had
Obviously, AA would be pretty nice to take away any sort of healing power from that. But I think Chen has been kind of ignored.
He has. We've seen it in a few different... We saw it in the SCA once it lost. I don't know, it's supposed to be a fast-paced hero, but it doesn't feel like that anymore, and I'm not sure why, if like the creeps just aren't as good, or if it's because, you know, these headdress Bassy metas just kind of ruin that hero. I don't know, Chen definitely feels like it got downgraded almost a full tier even.
Yeah, I don't like the hero. I think its job is done by items rather than
by the hero, yeah.
Sadly. Outdated by a headdress.
Rest in peace, Chen. And there goes the Beastmaster ban. I wouldn't doubt to see a Lycan ban as well. I will say, between these two teams, I think Beastmaster and Lycan go way further up in priority.
I mentioned it in the previous panel. Yeah, Lycan seemed to have been ignored up to this point, but it could be something they creep in and suddenly hit the pedal to the metal, run through a game just like that.
I'm telling you, I'm not a fan of Lycan. We haven't seen it win, I don't think.
I think we saw it win once, but out of like 5 games, which...
very low win percentage.
Not good.
I think the base damage nerf really did hit it hard, and I think Lycan's just one of those heroes that always creeps up on people. We haven't played against this guy in a year. We completely forgot what it does.
He just right-clicks all of our heroes with no mobility, and they're all dead.
Yeah,
and
wait a minute, we can just pick like AoE damage reducers, and he just can't fight us. Oh wait, okay, we win.
That's how Dota is, though, right? It just goes round and round and round. When Lycan, it's like, oh, we haven't seen it. They'll just resurface some other old hero.
Yeah, it's most important if somebody's trying to improve at Dota that you recognize why a hero's good, because it really never changes. Like, what beats a hero, like what about it is broken, unless the hero gets a significant rework. It just never changes. So every time Lycan is good in the patch, it looks like the exact same thing, and every time a Lycan's having a tough time in a game, it's because he can't fight you. It's that's the one description of Lycan, and I think this meta has slowly but surely become more and more team fight heavy, and as long as you're not snowballing the lanes on a hero like Lycan, that some point around 20-25 minutes, you just can't run into them anymore. And we see a Coddle definitely deters any of these summoning type heroes.
Owned last series.
If it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Your favorite hero, Coddle guy?
Oh, I love it. He's been great. We were talking about last panel. I'm starting to love him more than Earth Spirit now. I hated the rework at first with the ultimate, but now I think it's great. Team fighter, big player, fly. He knows what he's doing.
Yeah, I thought they might go with the Earthshaker instead of Coddle this time. I don't know. I just feel like Earthshaker, you could, but I think Quincy Crew might look for, I don't know. Earthshaker, as we said, every single TI, it comes back. A grand finals, we saw it in SCA. It got first picked overall, I believe, twice in a row. The hero's just good. It's decent in the lane, and it's always going to be one of the best team fighters, but they'll just ignore it. They'll get, okay, well, we talked about the 2 Danish 4 players, both very good at the same heroes. They'll take the Earth Spirit themselves here.
I'm really down for a potential Grimstroke Ricky coming out second round for Quincy Crew.
Okay. Well,
like, even against the Terrorblade, I think you have a decent amount of mixed damage so far, and I'm looking at this Coddle here, and I'm like, you need to pick a right clicker
to get on him.
Yeah, that doesn't
get on him.
To get on him and deal with the
countered,
Wisp,
but yeah. I don't necessarily know if you need... You can either deal with the Wisp directly by hitting it, or deal with like hyper-mobile heroes that just kill them.
Like Centaurs, or to get out, not to kill them, sorry.
They may have already committed, but when I play Coddle, the hero I hate to go against the most is the Nyx Assassin. I think it's just the worst thing ever. This Carapace just owns all your Illuminate blasts, and it just seems like he's always there to keep you from the back line, take you out of the fight right away.
They did go for the Earth Spirit, who's like kind of similar in the sense it doesn't carapace all your stuff, obviously, but it does just jump on you and
insta-silence.
Yeah.
Ooh. So I thought they was just a guaranteed PL ban, BSJ. Why do they not ban the PL? Because I know you say PL just straight up counters TB 1-1.
They do have these response picks, so they have to clearly have something in mind. This third pick better be good against PL, because what is going to happen is I believe there's no reason for Quincy Crew to pick it third. PL, they can pick their 5 position right now.
EG ain't picking that. PLTD. I think we actually saw once like a year ago, one of the worst things I've ever seen. But
reminds me of Secret TI5, the anti-mage SF first round. I'll never forget that draft, where they all came out in sunglasses.
Yeah.
And then by the end of the day, couldn't see the light.
Yeah.
You know, that's just what happened, I guess.
I forgot about that. What
I love when they play back that clip. It's just,
Dude, there's just some good stuff.
It really is, dude.
You can't write these scripts, man. They, somehow these players, they formulate the stories, the headlines for it, man. It's impressive.
So, I will say, you know you guys can't see, but in game, you see Quinn's as well as Rioya's name. One of the tag is tree number 4, the other is tree number 8. And I'm just not sure what that stands for, but it's clearly they're doing the same thing. And maybe it's something we'll have to ask.
I think in Quinn's backyard they do have 8 trees. And one of them is an apple tree, which is Quinn's favorite fruit, while the other one is
a cherry tree.
I think it's cherry. I was gonna say mango, but it might be cherry.
Yeah.
I know Ryoya really likes this fruit.
Are you for real right now? I'm not sure.
Of course he's not bringing for a cherry tree and apple tree. Dakota, get the hell out of here.
Washington over here freaking with a cherry tree? Like, what is happening? Is he playing Harvest Moon? Stardew?
I'm curious. I'm gonna have to ask someone about that. Maybe when we get one of them on for the thing. But obviously, as we see, 2 good friends, even with the same
I'm
tag.
too tired for Colorado to fall for my bullshit.
Like, I thought you were too tired to come up with
something like that.
Yeah, I know. Oh my God.
So the ban goes out. It's Bristleback getting banned. Have we? I mean, it's Bristleback Coddle, obviously. Maybe they're just scared that we haven't really seen EG. That's not really an EG here, because who would have played it? Ryoya middle? I don't think so.
Yeah, Bulba. He likes those 2-button heroes.
You're right.
Thank you.
Welcome.
Well, Quincy Crew taking a bit of time for this one. Legion Commander.
So they do make it a 5 position profit. Something we didn't see the other teams adjust to.
Ooh, instant Tusk.
And they go for the Tusk. I like it. The save. We've been seeing a lot of Tusk from EG as well as Crazy last series.
Yeah, it just kind of came out of note today. Yeah. Like, everyone's picking it now.
And here goes the PL. Boink. I don't think Tusk's very good against PL personally, so I'm sure I'm going to go PL here, Leshrac next pick for EG.
Okay. Let's see.
All right, I won't say anything.
Don't say anything. Shh.
They do not have much time.
It could be. I think they were considering Troll with this Legion pick, but against Tusk.
Now they're considering Troll.
Yeah, it's
Is it one of those two though? They just need someone who's decent with the word, like decent against the illusions and has a chance to get the kill.
Yeah, you can.
It's tough.
I think you have to pick your.
No.
You either pick SF mid here, or you pick
one of those two.
Or one of those.
Why
two.
not Zeus?
Oh, they go to. Wow, you said you kind of like Ricky, but you don't got the Grimstroke.
I thought it would be with a Grimstroke, not without the Grimstroke. I do like. In theory, I thought to myself, if I was a carry player and I saw a Coddle, like, what hero can I just assassinate him with?
Yeah.
And you got Stealth Assassin here. You'll never see him coming. I honestly think Ricky's really good against Wyvern Coddle type backlining supports that generally rely purely on positioning in order to survive. You can't position against Ricky. My only concern is they haven't actually addressed the Terrorblade. Legion Commander overwhelming odds of yada yada. It really doesn't do enough. You don't want to duel the Terrorblade.
Yeah.
Once he gets dueled, where is the damage?
Yeah, that's what I was saying. Where's the damage?
I think you have to have a last pick like
Bursty.
But even you said Zeus, something like that.
They might get.
I don't actually think it's Zeus. I think it's gonna be like some crazy Tinker type, just heavy magic damage.
Not even use Boots of Travel anymore properly?
No, you can. You can.
He's one of the few heroes who can.
You just have to make sure you don't have a shovel TP.
Yeah.
Because you can't rearm shovel TVs. So if you have the TP,
so even though the new Boots of Travel replaces the TP scroll, you can still refresh it?
Yeah, you can. You can. Yeah, you're good.
I've never seen it in action since the patch levels.
Yeah,
Tinker.
That'd be pretty
fine. Yeah.
I'm pretty sure Tinker would literally be removed from removed from the game.
I mean, in Dota 1, it was literally you just went 4-4-0, laser rock, and you got kills. But that doesn't work in a game where people are actually good now. Dota 1 people were good.
I miss the builds that I thought were good.
Just nukes, right? Always damage and stuff.
Well, the thing is like
I miss those builds.
Does Ice Frog like that about these heroes? And I can round this back to Coddle. Heroes that they feel like they're dependent on having an item to even be a hero. It's like, is that not a bad formula for a hero. Like Coddle, you had to get Agnums. Like there's no way you can't get Agnums, I felt. Now it's not really as necessary, and he can build stuff like Force Staff to help get away from problems like Ricky or help get other people out of problems like that. That's why I like him a bit more now. It's like, oh, I can get Force Staff, I can get utility items. Not like I always want to incorporate an Ags in some way to be safe when I use my spells.
So officially Legion has only turned into a press the attack. Like Legion is effectively not a duel. It doesn't matter who you duel. If it's Dazzle, he's getting snowballed or blinding lighted. If it's Tusk, he's anybody else that's getting
Legion
gray. Like this is a 5-position Legion game if I've ever seen it. Throw it back to Kuroki. Whenever he did that, I remember doing it, but I don't remember what team it was for.
I would say too is I know we've been talking about like offlane dazzles. Is this a Rioya? I feel Bulba doesn't play that. You think it's Bulba? Okay.
It could be mid dazzle. It really we have no way of knowing until this last pick.
That's true.
They believe it's most likely a offlane dazzle based on the Void Spirit pick. Because let's be honest, there's no way Bulba plays Void Spirit.
I think Bulba, but yeah, it's gonna.
I'm honestly not a huge fan of Dazzle in lane versus Ricky. Maybe because of the poison touch, you're not like once he goes on you, you just touch him and he has to run away. But Dazzle just doesn't want to die in lane. That's like his only. I know that sounds stupid to say a hero doesn't want to die, but Dazzle will always sustain. He just can't really protect himself.
Yep. I'm curious to see if Crit does. If it is the Tusk Dazzle lane, there are a lot of creep abuse things you can do while you're in Snowball. You actually can aggro creeps onto you, and I'm curious if they do that, right? You just Snowball, aggro the creeps while in Snowball, and then you, a 700 damage heal bomb? And I assume Crit, he's one of the best players ever. I'm sure he knows about that.
Yeah, so it is Dazzle offlane. Dazzle TB has been a classic combo. It used to be picked as 5 with it, obviously. Will they go... I don't think Tinker's good anymore. Maybe it is. You know,
Tinker versus Puck, the new Puck too.
I don't think I've ever seen a Quinn Tinker though. I'm down for some backline nuker that you just have to, because right now, if you heavy commit to a fight on Quincy Crew, you're getting owned.
Ember Sphere.
And they just picked Ember into Puck.
It feels like it was hard because any of the people you talked about, right? Like even a Quap or some backline, like this Puck just kind of counters all the heroes you brought up, and maybe Quinn just feels the safest on this hero.
Yeah, there's either going to be some crazy snowball from Quincy that I don't see coming, or I think they literally can't win this game.
Damn.
All right, Grant, your impressions based on the draft before us.
It's tough because I look at the first 3 picks on each team and it's like Keeper Light, Terrorblade, Tusk is a scary ass trio. Meanwhile, Nature's Prophet, Earth Spirit, Legion, you kind of need to do really good in the lane with Nature's Prophet, but Earth Spirit needs to be moving around middle, and Puck's one of the hardest was to gank if he has quick reaction times, and Rioya does have quick reactions. I heavily favor EG as well, but obviously, in that mid matchup, Ember could just snowball. We might see a solo kill on Rioya like we did in game 1 with Crazy, and you snowball out of control. I think it comes down to Quinn. Quinn has to have a great game if they want a chance.
It's purely based on the lanes. They just, I don't know what else to say, but Quincy Crew's lineup doesn't have the tools to deal with the combos and threats that EG has innately in their heroes.
What I recall in the previous panel was that Quincy should be making notes to succeed in the laning phase if they want to do well against EG. Let's see if they set themselves up for success. We throw it now to our casters, Capitalist and Blitz.
Contract complete.
Prepare for battle.
Prepare for a lesson.
Welcome everybody to the grand finals of North America. It is Evil Geniuses versus Quincy Crew. We've got 5 great games ahead of us, Blitz. Are you excited?
I am so excited for this match.
I could.
Why are you laughing?
Excited because I know how excited you are, and I know you guys at home are excited because you guys are all at those odds and deciding, who am I betting on? Who's going to win? Well, it looks like most of you favor EG, but it is very close, and it should be because Quincy Crew, they were top of the group. They went straight into the grand final. They should be the favored team. After all, that's what I believe BSJ said. Maybe it was Grant. One of our analysts said that they are favored until they lose. So we'll see what happens. Let's get into the game, shall we? So we're going to see the bounty runes unfold. looks like it's going to be an early fight. We've got tag team already being activated here. Another 3 seconds until the bounty rune's up, and looks like they did not assert enough dominance to be able to take that bounty rune away from Chaos. It's going to be a 2-for-2 split.
It does look like Arteezy won the click war bottom.
Oh, hi.
So that is one thing that he had going for him, but I think they were hoping to bring the Kata up here so that they could get at least 3 of them using the blast level 1. And this is going to delay him towards bottom a little bit, but I think this is a pretty free lane for Legion no matter what.
I mean, Artur also doesn't need that extra help at the start, right? He's just going to pop Metamorphosis. TV's like a hard hero to pressure, especially if you like have a lot of right-click damage because he's such high armor, and that's what kind of Legion does. So it's getting kind of a farming battle, most likely.
Calm Artur now.
Arteezy? RTZ? Is that better for you?
Yeah. We're casting.
We don't want to get too familiar.
We're casting. The only one that I feel like you can do that for is Bulba. You can call him.
No, dude, we can definitely call him Artur. Everyone calls him Artur.
I'm saying Arteezy.
All right, very well. You don't want to get too familiar. I got it. What do you think about this mid lane matchup, though? Puck versus Ember?
I think Puck abuses Ember, normally. But then it becomes very... I don't know. I remember we played against OG in the quals, and it was the one game that they lost, right? It was when they picked Ember Spirit, and we had Puck. So, Puck obviously is the counter to really all the spirits. They really like, the boys like the mobility.
And all the spirits are very much in right now, even Ursa, which you're going to be seeing here on the side of Quincy Crew that block in from the ice shards. It looks like SVG is going to be dropping low with the help of the Orb of Venom. Crit's going to be able to run him down. I'll die for it, but he gets ever coveted first blood.
Like that, we got a software.
Sure.
There is one thing that sucks about the Puck versus Ember matchup, and that is that Chains does not allow you to phase shift. Meaning it is a very easy setup for a kill on yourself, meaning you can't really go for Blink or Aghanim straight up. Normally you do have to build Yule Scepter, and there's a lot of killers for you in this game. I think Ricky's playing against you too.
Yeah, like you're going to Yules and just drop back into Smokescreen.
Yeah, and or the setup for Earth Spirit. But I think most of it comes down to who gets the jump on who first.
Okay.
If the Puck gets the entire toolkit, who cares? You know, if you get the coil off on the Ember Spirit, you can't really do anything anyways.
TB still remaining unpressured, 14-3 compared to our 8-1 Legion Commander. MSS, I think we managed to get a pull. Arteezy's gonna have to wander over there and take some of that CS away. Why? Pushing himself forward because he knows he's always got that backup.
This bottom lane is going a lot better for EG than I expected.
Yeah.
I actually thought that the Legion would get more or less free farm out of this lane, and it looks like it's the complete opposite. Because
Did you put that to the blind effect?
Did you see that?
No.
That was really cool. Arteezy dragged the Centaur right at 1 HP because it was like, if you decide to die, it was like an 100 health, and Fighter kicked the rocket at it where it used to be. So he anticipated the rocket from and he pulled it back so that he would guarantee get the last thing. It was really cool. I enjoyed it.
Takes it away from Fighter. He can do it himself.
All the big play things, like I've seen before, but all the little stuff like that, like I would not personally do or think of.
No, certainly not.
Obviously, Biver didn't either.
Crit trades himself for a kill in the top lane, uses that death to rotate top, securing the double damage rune for Roya, a rune that I know everybody loves. Meanwhile, bottom lane Metamorphosis is popped. Biver is forced away into the trees, and MSS is going to be pressured underneath his tower. It's great. A big wave pushing into the tower. Both heroes are low, so you pop meta to make sure you can get all these last hits and denies.
Pretty good use of it, and having a very good time, but so is Ember Spirit mid. I thought that this was going to be a matchup that was favorable.
Maybe that's why he needs the help. Roya, call for Quinn. Bird is in, but it looks like Roya managed to jump away to his orb. He's going to be fine. So more heroes coming in, and Fiver's now going to be joining the party. Crit, he's not going to back down yet, and a pause coming out from King. mid lane, and Bulba is on a hot streak of killing creeps.
Oh, K-pop or Pop-Tart, let him know. He needs to farm during this time.
Good job, Bulba.
I'll let my bias be known. I need Bulba to do well for all the coaches out there that are trying to make a play at it. Zephyr 2.0, let's go, baby.
So now you're gonna make a, you're gonna try and convince Aiden to sub you in at one of these?
I'm gonna at least carry your wash ass in the leagues. But nice move by Yawar. They probably wouldn't have gotten the kill without him, honestly. And that's why I'm perfectly okay with that move. It's kind of demoralizing if they don't get any sort of counter return kill for that. And Ryoya actually deciding to go for the kill, the last hit on the Ember Spirit got him killed. And he's going to go for a guess on the rune, and it is in fact bottom, and this might mean that
the race, there's no support interfering. So Ryoya, oh no, Quinn! The waning rift gets him there in time to be able to pick up.
Although Ryoya's kind of low, and he's got to be kind of careful.
Yeah, Quinn's gonna give up on it. Back over to the top lane. It looks like Fly trapped inside the Sprout, but SVG is taking a lot of damage from the tag team of Crit. And we do have Dazzle on his way. Rolling for Fiber, it's gonna slow him down, but Snowball's Bulba and stays on SVG. SVG with a TP up and a heal bomb from Bulba.
Nice.
Secures the kill.
Took him a little bit, but in the end he got there, and now there is a coil. I'd like to see a move towards mid with the Tusk. But they lack a little bit of damage right now. That is one thing, is even if Crit is here, I don't quite know if they hurt him enough.
Yeah, they've got two really big AoE abilities in Coddle and Puck. So when they have the TB in these fights, destruction. When they don't, lack of damage, big time.
You Flame Guard, I think you just hold your ground, and I don't think the Ember Spirit really dies here, but they're going to try for it anyways.
See how this Flame Guard hold works out for him here in the mid lane, because he's going to be Snowball followed up on, but sure enough, he's about half health. He's able to jump away. That is the clearly failed game, and Jesus, Quincy crew, they are going to punish. They said it's in the name, damn it. Don't you dare lay a finger on Quinn's head. We're going to punish you for every single one of them. They're going to be able to kill the Keeper of Life. And then this is looking for any kind of duel all the way past the tier 2. And level 5. What is he doing? He's level 5 in the mid lane. Is this the meta now, Blitz?
Oh, boy.
E5 man mid?
Oh, boy. Insane.
Insane in the membrane, indeed.
Oh boy, I just saw like 5 heroes.
Like Bulba's farming? Why is it MSS should be like, you guys have fun fighting. I'm gonna get at least level 6. Maybe get some items. A Blink Dagger, Pipe, whatever's needed.
I like it.
Game, Crimson Guard. You know.
Chaos are just running. I like the run and gun. Just
really,
fight non-stop.
Really gotta remove that name, by the way. It's on the screen. Quincy crew. Gotta call them Chaos so many times. 4-5. A slight lead for Evil Geniuses, but they just popped Metamorphosis, and not a whole lot is happening with it. They do some damage to Quinn. Looks like Bulba's Courier got sniped by creeps.
Oh, and Ryoya.
Oh, a coil! Ryoya, he snuck in from behind and managed to grab 2 of them. A kick away from Fiber, but he comes right back with Crit. Snowballs onto him. Ryoya's gonna get a little bit low, but he takes it and jumps away to Lucario. Now SVG's gonna be caught in. He does have a teleport, but it's not gonna be fast enough.
And now it is 5
MSS
EG
jumps
heroes.
up again. He's still only level 5, and this was a losing fight.
Dude, they're just 5-on-5ing right now.
This can't be okay.
For who though? That was kind of
For Quincy crew.
I think their move mid was actually really cool. I was perfectly okay with their move mid.
Okay, but MSS now just showed up in his safe lane jungle area. 9.5 minutes in, still level 5.
I think what he wanted to do was try to get to this top area and spam it out.
Okay.
Using his Q, but didn't really get an opportunity to do so.
Okay, so Evil Geniuses are up by 1,500 net worth. They're up by about 1,500 experience as well.
Yeah, how are you, how are you gonna ever begrudge people for 5-on-5ing this early on though?
Yeah.
They're definitely getting behind because Terrible is just free farming.
I mean, all I'm saying, if
But
I'm
it's
a
cool.
Legion commander, there's no way I'm leaving on my lane pre-level 6. But, you know, MSS showing me the new way to do things.
SVG has died a lot this game.
SVG has died a lot, but he's feeding kills, and EG is building up killing sprees. So when you kill them, it's worth a lot. And SVG is worth very little because he's level 4.
Honestly, I'm on 3 hours of sleep, and that was the smartest thing I've ever heard.
0, 5, and 4 right now in 10 minutes. He's dying once every 2 minutes. He's about to respawn, and his help is needed, but they snap it on Quinn. The blinding light force him out of the coil, snapping it towards the end of the disable.
There's just 5 heroes here from EG. They went from 5 top towards 5 mid. And they're just continuing to use this metamorphosis, putting some damage out.
Okay, remember when before we watched a single game, we said this is how games were gonna be.
Yes.
Because we're all from NA, so we've been experiencing NA pubs, and this is a little bit extreme version of it, but this is what NA pubs are looking like right now. Like a lot of just running down towers.
I'm so proud. NA's learning. The jungle is not your friend, North America.
I mean, I'm happy with that part.
Europe is, I'll say it, I'm a trader. Like, Europe is ahead of the game. Europeans, they don't know what neutral creeps are. It's like their detriment almost.
Stun up on crit. Just knocks Quinn up in the air so he can run away to safety. A smoke up from Biver MSS. MSS is now level 8, and Bulba, he's been sitting up here farming for quite some time. It would be a beautiful kill. They triangulate it, don't quite hit the stun, but they kick up into the duel. He said, here you go, Mojo. Need a helping hand, my friend? No blink dagger required. I'll just knock one over to you.
Definitely wasn't the first time Bulba's been kicked by North American. Nice moves, though. It was actually a European. I messed up. Not on my A game. As Yawar is just kind of sneaking around. During all the shenanigans, he actually broke first. I was kind of wondering like who would break the staring contest with like 5-on-5s. And remember the game that they played against Business Associates where he was playing Wraith King and he's like, I'm over this.
Yeah.
And he stopped participating in the 5-on-5.
Yeah.
Something similar to this game, but he's actually behind in farming. That's why towers and kills are worth more than farming.
Well, it's also like, how does Ricky farm as fast as a TV, right? He farms through getting kills. So if anything, you should be looking for fights. You should be the one happy with everything that's going on.
Yeah, he's trying to farm out his defusal, and then maybe he'll try to get on top of heroes.
Yeah, fair enough.
Oh, Bulba's got Necrobook 1. So
Yeah.
I think Necrobook 3 has a lot of value in this game, by the way. Purge, the vision, obviously, that it gives against the Ricky. It's not super easy, I'd say.
Do you think... So I think this is a farming Necrobook into Greaves. Would you agree with that? Or do you think he's going to complete the Necrobook?
I think you just go Necro 1 into Grease. But I'm just saying, eventually, the Necrobook 3 does provide a lot of value.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, I love the constant vision. Oh, a hasted up Roya has found a victim. Biver, he's barely getting away here.
They don't use the coil for
He
this.
just does not want to coil, and nor should he need to. They get the kill, no problem.
And they're continuing to just 5-man around the map. Utilizing whenever Metamorphosis is up. Just continue to fight as much as you possibly can.
It's like this loose 4-man that's around Arteezy, so he can still kind of join in the fights with a Metamorphosis here and there, but then he just turns it right back into farming some more, and as a result, he's up 2k net worth on the Riki. But that is the entirety of the net worth differential between these two teams, meaning if Quincy Crew can kill him even once, it would be a pretty big exchange.
He's getting really close to defusal. There's a full Manta completed, at least gold-wise on this TB, though. He's pretty massive, and somehow Bulba, in fact, is the second highest net worth on Team EG. I guess it's not that surprising considering he's just been farming. He's got Necrobook 1. It allows him to just jungle for free.
Let me just say, I'm proud of my man SVG. He hasn't died in 5 minutes. Of course, that time is now over and done with. SVG is going to be found by the tag team. Cut down the trees. Okay, they can get vision, but there's no cut down the trees, and he couldn't get the walrus punch in time. Make that 6 minutes where SVG hasn't died yet. Wait, he had a quelling blade?
Yeah, Boba had a quelling blade. Come on, dude. And Ryoya, no, they don't really have any more catch for this. So MS is going to get out for free.
Yeah, that's good. I think this is one of the things that's really annoying about this combination is that you kind of have to get used to just breaking the coil right away.
Yeah.
Because if you sit there in it, they're going to blinding light push you and possibly break it at the end of the duration, which just means it's an extremely long stop.
It's not just that. They actually have one of the best counters to coil in the game, is the Legion Commander.
Yeah.
So just break it.
Yeah.
He'll get you out of it. That does mean MSS's job, I think, is less of an initiator and more of a counter initiator. Like, you want to sit back, allow for the coil to happen.
Do you think he should be going aura items, or because right now he has a blink dagger queued up?
I think blink is fine too, because you need some way to pressure this puck, and I don't really think they have that quite yet.
Sure.
If they can get on top of puck, and also like his duel without blink dagger, I think is kind of useless, because if he doesn't find Bulba, for example, Bulba's always going to get Grave off, and you're just losing a lot of value, because MSS, they don't have a save for him. He is the save in this game.
Right.
So I think he's sort of stuck.
So UR did get the diffuser blade a bit faster than the average. Goes to show, like, he's not really doing a poor job of farming. He just can't keep up with the Terror Blade of all things. Ooh, this would be an opportunity for Quincy Crew to rectify this difference in net worth. If they can get it for the Roshan and intercept this, it would be massive. But it would be terrible if they just let it happen for free. It looks like they know. They definitely know. Metamorph is going to be popped here. They actually spotted a hero. SVG showed himself. He teleported in. Pop Wrath of Nature as well. Evil Geniuses will go back into it. Now, SVG does have a buyback, and he's only a 5 position anyway. Quincy Crew could take the fight if they felt confident about winning it, but it doesn't seem like they do.
No, and I don't know if this is necessarily the right decision. This is a really farm TV.
I mean, it's a TV Aegis, which we talked about before as not being the best hero with Second Life.
It's still really, the timing of now is really good.
Yeah.
Like, think about how far ahead he is of the Ricky. Like, even in melee form, he's going to hit pretty hard.
True.
And they have a lot of lockdown for him. He's got Tusk, he's got Coddle, what did you call it? The White Hole?
The White Hole.
And they have, like, they have Puck. Like, there's a lot for them to lock down for him. Usually it just sucks when you don't have meta and your team has, like, no way of setting up for you. Mm-hmm. But there's a DD rune and a Spirit Vessel with no charges on this Ember Spirit.
No. Oh, no. No. You hate it when that happens.
Raise your weapon, sing a song. War is here, we waited so long. Prepare, my brothers, battle will come. And when we die, our legend lives on.
And you are a double kill for RTZ.
That looks so good for Chaos for 2 seconds. And then the meta's finally popped. Really nice Sunder.
I mean, EG turning on the high ground like that and him getting off the instant sunder.
Yeah, that actually was almost really awkward by Fly when he pushed away Quinn.
Oh, yeah.
But it's okay.
It's all, you know.
It all worked out in the end.
Yeah.
That's all right.
All's well that ends well. We'll see that one again. This gank, I mean, look at this. Fly just in the perfect spot and instantly reacts. And a gank on to potentially like just taking away the Aegis turns into them actually getting the kill on Viper.
Man,
both teams overextend afterwards.
This moment right here where MSS, it was because he goes pretty much in melee range of them.
Yeah, where's the waning rift?
I don't know. I thought he was actually just gonna
that was absurd. He could have got him 3-man silence and the fight was over.
I think so too. But he instead just kind of walked in.
Yeah, he got smoke screen. Didn't expect his close gonna break. Snowball follow up onto Quinn. Quinn already down to half health. Has to be careful of that Walrus punch too. That's why he jumps away to his remnant. On the left-hand side, we do have that Will-O-Wisp controlling up UR. He needs to blink strike away, but he's being controlled up too much. That Tusk knocked him up in the air and controlled him enough. And now Quinn MSS, he's already dead. Viper looks like he's gonna roll on out. He'll be okay for now, but Quinn's gonna try and chase him down. He managed to get the snowball. That shards doesn't quite make it. Oh, Martini, really? They're gonna force that forward into the enemy base. They do have buybacks on the side of Quincy crew, but they don't feel super confident about this. They could have maybe punished that overextension, but
I'm not sure how though.
RTZ maybe just too big.
Yeah, I think even if they bought back there, that would have been a losing engagement for them, and they might just decide to go high ground. He's got meta in 6. This is what I was talking about. When you're this farmed and you have this much more net worth, you don't actually need the meta to fight. You have enough control on your team, and that's exactly what we saw. Now he's going to pop it, and I don't think Quincy crew can really engage into this. This is probably going to be a Rax.
He's got a 6K net worth lead on the Riki. He almost has the same net worth as Riki and Ember Spirit combined. The smoke screen's going to go out. They're going to try and take away his first life, but the Hurricane Pike keeps on allowing him to go out of the smoke screen while putting pressure on Coil. Manages to grab this Ember Spirit. Ember Spirit is going to die. He got the heal. He got the to press the attack after or before he broke the coil.
No.
What a fumble. What a fumble.
They have the counter.
Well, they got the melee barracks for Evil Geniuses. Now they're up by 12,000 net worth.
Not good. Things are really out of sorts right now. They probably can't really do anything else other than that, but losing the Ember Spirit in that high ground defense without really punishing at all is even more impactful. Whew. And that combo, no flames, it should be pretty straightforward, right? Like, you see the snap. He was trying to time it, like, perfectly, I think, was the issue.
because he was getting so low and stuff.
He's like, he needs the heal.
Yeah.
And Ryoya should be fine unless he decides to chase SVG, but that's a bait.
Don't get baited by SVG. He is been more than willing to throw away his life on multiple instances. It's actually got some okay net worth because Wrath of Nature, but also he's been defending the pushes from the Dazzle and Bulba. Coil once again, Ember Spirit, this is what you were talking about. You just ain't playing this combination. He breaks the coil as quick as possible, knowing the blinding light's coming, but there's too much chain stun, there's too much damage, and now Quinn is dead for 40 seconds. 18-8, and Evil Geniuses look for a second lane of barracks.
Yeah, and that 29-9 that RTZ accidentally said in all chat was the score that he predicted.
That would be pretty next level if we managed to pull this out. Let's see. Smoke screen cooldown talent for the Riki, but they're just gonna have to watch. Not even from their base, they're watching from the Radiant jungle. This is how little faith they have in defending. They're not even close to their own base. They're just trying to min-max at this point. Little bit of a push onto mid lane, trying to backdoor it. Maybe they can, oh no, he actually didn't jump over to the The Soul Street's gonna, they do manage to kill Roya. There is that Will-O-Wisp. It looks like SVG. He's gonna be found by the reflection. Instantly a duel goes out with the blade mail, but this turnaround of damage, RTZ had so much armor, he didn't even take that much, and now MSS is gonna find that RTZ hurts like a son of a gun. That's why he's gonna limp away on just 100 HP. Bulba's getting quite low. If they can finish him off with the help of Quinn, it would be fantastic, but they have to run away from RTZ. Keep on kiting. Stay away from the big man and kill the little boys. That's why they need to get away from Quinn as well, because he knocks him up in the air, and RTZ knocks knocks him back down. They jump over now to be able to kill Fly. Blade Mail, MSS, not going to be able to do enough damage to kill either Crit or RTZ. These two are just a duo that will take anybody on, and Quincy crew are trying to get the hell away. Quinn being chased down by his own reflection. Does he have a remnant coming up soon? It looks like he should be fine. He's just fast enough to stay ahead of RTZ, especially with the help of the chains. Back over to Yuar, who got away from the illusions and is now going to try and kill another support. This time it's going to be Fly. The coil missed. The silence, he gets cleansed off. Yuar might still be able to make it out. In fact, they would love to be able to get a duel right now. Yuar inside of the smoke screen. Can they grab? They get the duel successfully, but can they do the damage fast enough? They're blinding light, ruining a lot of things. Fiber rolls and they get the duel win, but they're both Crit low. Here comes Crit. He sees Yuar. He kills him. Now turns over to MSS, slowing him down with a tag team. Dazzle, hopeful, but he's trucking along. He says, I'm finally here. I'm back on my second line to make sure RTZ gets his godlike. MSS calls it. It's 24-12 is the end score. RTZ was quite close in his prediction, but either evil geniuses do dominate this first game.
That game was not altogether that close. The 5-man maneuvers by EG paid off. And most importantly, I'm seeing a theme here. If Boba gets a good laning phase, EG just, you know, they win.
Yeah.
It seems pretty straightforward for them. And that's what we talked about in their previous series against Crazy.
It's Radiant's turn to ban. It's Dire's turn. What's Radiant's ban plan anyway? It's Dire's. 5 seconds. It's radiant. It's Dire's turn to pick. It's Radiant's pick. 10 seconds. 5 seconds. Ten seconds. 5 seconds. Just hold there.
Legion Commander.
What's Radiant's battle plan anyway? Ten seconds. 5 seconds. It's Radiant's turn to pick. It's Dire's turn to pick.
In the spirit.
Ten seconds. 5 seconds. Always choose the right crew for the job.
I'll help my weak and puny allies
Not
where
bad
I
at
can.
all.
Just what I've been waiting for. You fought and died with honor. This reward transcends expectation.
It's on now, Jax. Hope you enjoy the show. Yeehaw!
You have learned nothing.
One who knows.
Who wants cookies? Not too bad. under attack.
Prize is mine.
My name shall
Hunting
live on.
elders. Bounty.
Dire structures are fortified.
Oh, please, that was well done.
Nothing good happening to Radiant's middle tower. Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Haste.
Dire's top tower is about to fall. Just wait. Sanava. Dire's top tower has some radiant-shaped problems. Dire's top tower is under attack. Dire's top tower is under attack. Dire's top tower has some radiant-shaped problems. Dire's middle tower is
Gift
having
from
a
the moment.
under attack.
This will do nicely. The prize is mine.
If you're looking for Radiant's bottom tower, better hurry. Radiant's middle tower has been denied. Jax thinks Radiant's bottom tower is about to fall. Can't say he's wrong. Radiant's bottom tower is under attack. Yes!
Killing spree. Very nice. Illusion.
Jax thinks Radiant's bottom tower is about to fall. Can't say he's wrong. Radiant just fortified. Radiant's bottom tower is under attack. Radiant's bottom tower has fallen. Jax thinks Radiant's bottom tower is about to fall. Can't say he's wrong. Is Dire going to let that middle tower fall? Dire structures are fortified. Dire's middle tower is under attack. Radiant's bottom tower is under attack. Dire's top tower has some radiant shaped problems.
Then
Dire's top tower is under attack. Radiant are scanning for enemies. Dire are scanning for enemies.
Rune of invisibility.
Dire's middle tower is under. Dire's top tower has some radiant-shaped problems. Dire's top tower is under attack.
A lot of ya.
Is Dire going to let that middle tower fall?
Time to dance with them what brung me.
Jex thinks Radiant's bottom tower is about to fall. He's wrong.
I commend you to the depths.
Double kill.
Do Radiant want their middle tower to fall?
Not bad at all.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Selfish.
Dire's top tower has some radiant-shaped problems. Radiant's top tower is under attack. Radiant's courier is dead. Dire's top tower has some radiant-shaped problems. Radiant structures are fortified.
Salamene smiles upon me. Shadows take us.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Stings.
Radiant's top tower is under attack. And over here, Radiant's top tower. About to fall.
Invisibility.
Vanish.
Do Radiant want their middle tower to fall? Radiant's middle tower is under attack. It's not every day you get to see
prize is
Radiant's middle
mine.
tower fall. And over here, Radiant's top tower. About to fall.
Six bested.
Yes!
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Vanish. Trespasser. Allies disappear. An easy shot.
Dire scanning from. Scan from Radiant. Dire's top tower is under attack. Dire's top tower has some radiant-shaped problems. Dire's top tower is under attack. Dire's top tower has some radiant-shaped problems. You wanted to tell it tricks. You don't get to fight. Thank you. Dire's top tower is under attack.
Just what are you hiding, Michelle?
Dire's top tower has fallen. Dire did the deed. Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Roadkill with more guts than you.
Belongs their middle tower to fall. Radiant's middle tower is under Radiant's middle barracks is full. Radiant's bottom tower is under attack. Did Radiant's bottom tower just fall? Don't pass. Radiant's bottom barracks is about to Radiant's bottom barracks is full.
Regeneration.
Dire don't look too scared of Radiant's top tower. And over here, Radiant's top tower. Radiant's top tower has fallen. Take us. Dire's middle tower doesn't last long. Dire don't look too scared of Radiant's top tower. How long is Radiant's top tower? It's Radiant's turn to ban.
What's up, and he'll help you win it.
Yeah,
It's good.
I think they have utter faith in themselves as a team to just, despite with 2 stand-ins and obviously not quite the same caliber as the players they're replacing, but just to play better than the opponent all around. We have a straightforward draft, and as long as we execute our strategy, we will
10
win.
seconds.
All right. Well, on that cue, BSJ, we have a draft here before us.
5
So
seconds.
there we go into it. Evil Geniuses up the 2 games here, and as Grant mentioned,
Mansion yacht.
Yep.
won that coin toss and now have second pick.
What's Radiant's ban
That means
plan
that
anyway?
Quincy Crew will get the Radiant side and let the bands begin. Obviously,
Same 2 so far.
the same one so far, getting rid of the Shadow Demon, getting rid of the DP. We saw Quincy Crew take a first ban favor on getting rid of the Terrorblade last time. We'll see if that is a continued trend.
Leave Chen. I don't know. Quincy Crew's been banning Chen. I think, you know what? Make him beat you with it. Fly actually is having huge impact on these team fighters. Sure, he might want to play the Chen, but it's not like a high impact hero. I actually think that's the one hero you let through.
Now, Grant, hear me out.
I'm hearing.
What do you think about Quincy Crew banning Legion Commander?
So they aren't forced to pick it themselves?
They just will never pick it if it's banned in the first round.
I mean, to be fair, we talked about this yesterday, right? It's hard when you have a... how do I say it? It's hard when you have this thing at Dota. Like, you have an idea on Dota,
Yeah.
and you're 2 games into a
5
grand
seconds.
finals. It's hard to just say, well, Legion Commander is bad, even though we think it's good. Go to the drawing
It's
board.
true.
You might not have that drawing board. I don't think you pick it, but you still have to play kind of the similar way. But they do ban the Chen. All right.
I mean, I'm even a bit, obviously, but at
Yeah.
the same time, I do think that Quincy Crew
They overvalue it.
should
100%.
reconsider what they're getting out of their offlane. I think just these naturally scaling aura building do their job with just aura items heroes. So even like the Prophet, like it's not an
10
initiator,
seconds.
but what its purpose in the game is going to be fulfilled no matter what
5
items it
seconds.
goes. It can just go items according to what its team needs: damage, mana battle, aura, whatever. On the other hand, Legion very, very distinctly needs to be able to duel and get in there.
You need items. You have to have certain items.
Yeah, and then at that point, you leave it up to your team to buy the rest of the items that your team needs, and it just makes Dota harder.
It does.
And nobody wants a game of Dota to be difficult because we all play it because it's so easy.
Yep, exactly. Oh God, no wonder I don't play it. No, I'm just kidding. I think EG maybe thinks about banning the Centaur. If you're worried about Quincy Crew, I don't think it's like this hero's so OP to win, but I think it might be the best offlaner, and there's almost no comparison.
Yeah, I think it's by far the most stable. I wasn't sure going into the patch about Centaur, but he clearly benefits heavily. He just buys regen items and armor items, and then pushes R when his team needs it, and it
Has an AoE stun.
2,000 health.
5 seconds.
Bulba hit some big 2 to 3 man stuns out last year, and they were like re-engagement ones. Like, he was already half HP, he's running away. To have that good decision making, be able to get those AoE stuns, Bulba looked good on it. If EG doesn't ban it and Quincy Crew doesn't pick it, it's instantly snapped up by EG. Like, they will pick it in that second pick.
This time Quincy banned the Snapfire in the first phase. I don't know if that Insta says they want to go for Phoenix or anything, but
it might.
But Fly did play a pretty good Snapfire game nonetheless, and they want to just take it off the table or leave something else juicy for themselves to pick up that we just can't really think of right now.
Yeah, I think they might just be going for the Phoenix again, and EG, they'll be
5
fine with
seconds.
that. They will get the Centaur, maybe Mirana again if they want.
What about the Oracle
fine.
Terrorblade?
That is in the pool still, you're right.
Yeah, Terrorblade's still available and in the pool.
Yawar might first pick. It might be something like they first pick the TB themselves on Quincy, and then EG would probably take like Phoenix Centaur or something like that. I don't know. I think I would like that change. I'm not the biggest first pick Terrorblade fan, but I want to see him switch it up, and I want to see him. You do have the best. You pick the best hero in the late game, probably in the first pick. Just get there. It's different.
I'm a firm believer. So back when I used to have to draft, and I remember playing against Complexity in a patch where Tiny was really broken, and we were like, let's just first pick Tiny against these guys. And I realized that there's like no way we know as much about Tiny as Limp does.
Yeah.
And they just like dissected us when we played Tiny. And
You're not wrong,
I think
yeah.
that's the same idea as like trying to first pick Terrorblade against
Evil Geniuses. Yeah, that's fair. That's fair.
He just know, like, even if EOR is a perfectly capable Terrorblade player,
Ortizi's at that.
Yeah,
and they know what they don't want to see. Like, and Fly knows that. It's like he knows what game is a good Terrorblade game, so he'll know what's bad for Terrorblade.
Exactly.
He'll see it right away. And he's like, oh, I would pick this, this, and this.
Yeah. So it is the same opening. The only difference is the Snapfire won't be available in the next picking phase because it's already banned. And I think both teams, I don't hate either of these. I think this is a completely fine opening. This is the big pick. What do you take? Is there a core that's good versus Centaur? You just snap up here?
That's the problem, right? What carry, other than like Ursa, beats him in lane, and I don't think most teams want to pick Ursa this early on in the draft. EG, really the only team I think across the entire world that I saw that was picking Ursa for this event.
UR does play it a lot in pubs. They could do, but it's another thing. Just because you saw another team do it, can you play it the same way?
No, you can't. If you haven't been playing it at all, it's just not. I'm not talking about the player individually playing in the pub. Like, if your team hasn't played a scrim with Ursa,
that makes sense.
It has to be somewhat fresh, right? It doesn't. It's not like everyone on their team has no idea what an Ursa does, but getting used to playing a patch and going through the motions of the timings of Ursa and everything, even just having one game sometimes can make a big day and night difference.
I will say that Grimstroke, and this makes me kind of think this. I know Biver is a very good Phoenix, but as you brought up, MSS has played it a lot. He is in the offlane. It almost makes me think it might be swapping over to core because it does a lot of damage. I'm actually thinking about Phoenix versus Centaur. Sure, he can run from the egg, but if you have like that Veil Kaya build we've seen, even with the hood, you kind of just melt this big boy.
Any strength heroes, percentage-based damage from the Sunray, just plows through you.
Yeah, I kind of want to see MSS on the Phoenix.
You know, we're gloating a lot about how good Centaur Warrunner is for his position, and I can't help but bode the question, why are we not seeing Batrider come back in? He's picked up a lot earlier at the start of this league. People are just kind of glossing over him altogether. I thought he should be able to bring to the table kind of similar elements, and he's very good in the lane, but teams are just kind of...
He was first round banned every single game of the SEA.
Yes, he was.
So I don't know why, but certain regions...
Oh no, you're getting TB'd. Oh boy.
I think the Oracle hero makes Batrider way worse.
Certainly so. Yeah, you'd have to ban him knowing what you want to get into a Batrider type game.
It's like a whole other meta where in this region, heroes like Beastmaster are squeaking into the bans, and then that means that there's naturally going to be one or two heroes that aren't banned. And Oracle, another highly sought after hero, based on how good he is against the Phoenixes, the Batriders, all that kind of stuff, and the Snapfire, really good against that too. And it just pretty much 90% going to pick Terrorblade here, right? The Terrorblade hero is quite bad against Phoenix, but with the Oracle laning with them to purge off the Fire Spirits, to fatigue, to heal them up, it just makes things a lot easier.
You could get peeled, obviously, since they would have the
that
pick
is
after.
True. You know what? Ignore everything I just said.
Well, I don't think it's like you're wrong. I think they might still pick TB.
I don't know though. PL's really good against Centaur Marana as well. So
didn't they have a chance to do that in game one and they didn't take the PL? They took the Ricky because I don't think the PL was banned. So it's kind of
they passed on it.
It's very interesting to me that Quincy Crew didn't value that as heavily as say other teams and even us.
Yeah, PL has this scary timing late game, but it's really hard to get there
5 seconds.
in organized Dota as long as the opponent plays clean. The only games that I saw PL really hit that threshold was when the team that was ahead slipped up once or twice, and maybe they're just not confident in the fact that they can survive as long as they have to against EG. And another Ursa pick for EG. They paired that with the Oracle. That's the two heroes I've seen them pick with it so far. I don't think they've picked any other carry than Terrorblade Ursa with the Oracle.
Now I know you don't want to just Ursa, like it's not, but honestly, just having an overpower and hitting the egg, once again, it's good. Sure, you want the Ursa like Fury swiping someone else, but if worse comes to worse, you have pretty good egg hitters in Marana and Ursa and Centaur as well. Engage, disengage.
It's just a very aggressive carry, and we talked about they've been giving Ryoya 10th pick literally every single game, and it's much less about Arteezy's game. It's more so about enabling Ryoya, because Arteezy's done this before. Back when Sumail was on EG, they kind of struggled between who to highlight, and I think that's actually paid off for him in terms of enabling Ryoya.
I also will say we've seen the Arteezy has played the Ursa middle a few times, and you have to be careful because I believe Ursa dumpsters Void Spirit, so you are going to have to be careful in that matchup.
Yeah, and since they have the 10th pick for EG, they should set up the lanes they want.
Yeah.
And they've gotten
the lanes they've wanted.
That was against Crazy especially, where there were some serious potential musical chairs of lanes.
There's nothing.
That EG got exactly what they wanted every single game. They're very good at that kind of stuff. That's the type of thing where a tier 1 team will never lose to a tier 2 team that way. Yeah. But you'll see it all the time where teams that are weaker will drop like a free win in the first 4 or 5 minutes of the game just because they messed up the lane orientations or little things like that.
Last picks. I'm trying to. So what do you need? Quincy Crew, you already got your Wraith Kings,
Really
your
good
carry.
Storm, man.
Yeah, they've been at the Storm, so it would have been like the Void Spirit in the off lane. Do you just need another? You have a Void Spirit. Do you need another playmaker on Quincy Crew, or do you just need someone who always wants to be down to fight?
I'm thinking about against Ursa. You don't want any of these like tanky offlaners.
Yeah.
I think Void Spirit would have a weird time in lane.
5 seconds.
You don't go for Venno against Oracle. Oracle Ursa, what do you pick to lane against that?
Do you just pick something that maybe trades farm with it?
Yeah, what like what?
You know, BSJ? I'm gonna give 10 seconds. Let me think of it in Zen mode, Dakota.
Okay, go for it. I'll give you the full 10. While you get 10, I'll pose a question. You guys think Oracle's a simp, as the kids say? I think so, right? He kind of gives everything he's got to...
Where the hell did this come from?
I think I read it somewhere, and I'm like, yeah, true. It probably is.
Just like theory crafting about Oracle's backstory. Grant, the 10 seconds are up.
Boom! It's gonna be an off-lane Weaver. The haters are here. Toss the bugs on him. You can farm up. You have plenty of mobility with the Phoenix on your side. You're gonna do it. Will they do it? Probably not. I think Weaver. I don't mind it.
I've heard crazier things. This takes me back to TI8 with the Wraith King Weaver meta.
Dude, I think Weaver is pretty. I do not think they'll pay it, but I think it shuts down a lot of the stuff they want to do. And not only that, it's the vision, because that was the big thing. Bulba kept re-engaging every single fight last game. If you have bugs on top of him, you have vision of him, and he can't blink. They're not going to pick it, but I'm just going to keep saying it.
Yeah.
Weaver! Doom!
You've already sold me. If you were in the booth, they would have picked it already, honestly, not even waiting that full 18 seconds to decide.
What's a more standard here? You think they might pay? I think you got to mix up. You're in game 3. You're about to get eliminated. You can't just go back to what could be good. You got to make something happen, man.
Bristleback.
It's Dire's turn.
Sure. Well, I mean, that's why I didn't act that surprised when he said it, because Ursa versus Bristle is one of those that it feels like it can go either way. The Ursa gets a lot of stacks, obviously.
Oh my god.
Was that just a random pullout, or did you have any legitimacy?
I knew he was going to say it, too.
So there was like 2 games in a row by business associates where they picked Bristol, and like the second one was absolutely terrible. They just picked it again for the sake of picking, and I was just like, we made a joke out of it where I just said, hear me out.
Yeah.
Bristleback.
Yeah.
Oh. So I didn't think they were going to pick Bristleback at all here. I just said it to meme on Grant there.
Now you're a genius.
That's why I'm laughing at myself, because I'm like, so surprised they actually picked Bristleback.
Yeah, if you had Sumail on your team, you're picking AA here 100%. I just don't think you have. I don't think Realia plays that. I think AA would be really good here.
I mean, he did Invoker earlier, but I like it. I like Invoker. Oh, Monkey King.
I like Monkey King.
I don't think I've ever seen. Or he could just pick OD actually. I've never ironically suggested a hero and had them pick it.
I do that all the time.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
If he plays Monkey King, I think this Monkey King game could just be a 20-minute game and you own.
I'm down for his OD as well.
Is there enough team?
They do the Invoker. He's been playing it a decent amount, and it is versus the Wraith King and the Bristleback. 2 heroes who they are tanky and they'll sit there. But if they don't have mana, they kind of suck. And I think this is a real good Quaswex Invoker game. The thing is, Quinn has shown to be able to beat Realia pretty hard in the lane, and when Realia fell behind in that other game against Crazy, he was just completely worthless. So as long as Realia doesn't get completely dumpstered, once again, I hate to say, I know EG's up 2-0 and I picked him twice, but I think EG's draft is just much better again.
Yeah, I don't see a lot of threat to him in the early game, right? Who's the 4 position on Quincy crew, and are they really going to be intervening with mid lane at all? It doesn't seem like it.
Phoenix, yeah.
I think they're going to have more focus elsewhere, so I'm agree with you. Brian, before we go to the casters, final thoughts?
I have to go with Chaos. I called the Bristleback pick. They got this.
All right, fair enough. We'll see if it's going to be good enough for him. Why don't we go ahead and throw things over to our premier casting duo. It's Blitz and Capitalist.
You know, it's an exciting time, and we've got some great Dota ahead, so we should all be squealing and jumping for joy, much like BSJ. It's a game 3 between Evil Geniuses and Quincy crew, and hopefully not the last game, because EG is currently up 2-0, and Grant's feeling him. He's been correct in every prediction so far. Blitz, are you feeling him? Are you at home feeling him with the odds?
Yeah, I could see that. And shout out to Anton.
People have really lost faith, by the way, in poor old Quincy crew. It just keeps on ticking down.
It's right now. But shout out to Anton Turo in chat who said, I hope this will be a great game and that both teams will have fun no matter the outcome.
Shout out to you, Anton. I hope all of you in chat adopt such a happy
they're gonna be hateful.
atmosphere.
But
we've got 40 seconds to the bounty runes, so let's get into the game, shall we?
If whoever wins is terrible, whoever loses is terrible, and whoever wins is marginally less terrible for winning in North America. That's going to be the majority of the comments.
That is true. I mean, are they wrong? Blitz, are they wrong?
Yeah, winning is winning. If EG wins, this is incredibly impressive. They're going to beat a major qualified team in Quincy crew who
with
have a lot of good players, with 2 stand-ins and a lot of ping on their side. And for Quincy crew, this is maybe the beginning of a huge turnaround. I haven't seen a reverse sweep in quite some time.
Okay,
maybe we'll just see it right now as
Arrow goes out, lands onto UR. Bulba will get some decent damage in.
Oh no, he's just giving him freebies.
Yeah, now he's
do
up
that.
to 7 retaliate stacks. That is what Bulba wants.
He wants those stacks, guys. Don't do it to him.
You guys
it's
keep on giving him Centaur. This whole plan has been for you to go on Bulba.
It's like when, remember when Heen got AA every game? During Dream League, that's the same thing. But here at ESL, it's the Bulba Centaur. You know, who's your MVP? Bulba Centaur.
Who would be your MVP so far?
I'm not sure. Not sure.
It's a little hard to tell, right? We've had some off games for a lot of people.
Yeah, if they reverse sweep, who knows? You know, I don't know who's overperforming right now because Quincy crew right now is currently underperforming. I guess the easy answer for the time being would be like Crit or Arteezy, but we'll see. Whoever wins this game 5 and has a fantastic performance could sort of determine things for me anyways.
This is a fun lane to be in. Bristleback versus Ursa. One of the few offlaners that you can keep your distance to Ursa, and you can actually be the one to force him back. You build up like 2 or 3 stacks, then you can keep going in. Ursa naturally has to back away. MSS brought a ton of mangoes to make sure he can keep doing that consistently. Not a whole lot of lanes are going to be able to take down Oracle Ursa. But it looks like they have figured that out, and I'm happy for Quincy crew that they figured that out, because I was a little bit scared that they were just going to give the Bulba Centaur and the Arteezy Ursa free game.
Oh, look at this. They actually leveled stun. And I think you sort of have to. If SVG's playing Grimstroke, you're really leaving him out to dry. Yeah, if you don't do that.
You got to go for it. You can't just sit there, AFK farm. The only way you would not do that is if like Grimstroke went top and they tri-lane for some reason. That sounds terrible. Because neither one of these supports want to tri-lane. Mid lane, Quinn's doing a pretty good job getting CS, but he's taking a lot of harassment for it. He's 10-5 right now compared to the 5-1 of Roya. Roya just focusing on trying to burn through Quinn's regen as fast as possible. Because he is at a bit of a damage difference between him and the opposing mid laner. Great Fire Blast, just Stroke of Fate, just some love taps on a Bulba, nothing serious. They're not really trying to make a full go on him, just trying to get him low enough that they can kill him next go around. But he did just pick up his Ring of Terras, so he is going to be significantly tankier, and now he's going to be regenning up a lot.
Yeah, it's going to be really hard for them to get any sort of meaningful harass out on him anymore. Another hit flies in, and they're doing some pretty good harass. I think you want to stick in this position, and he does have one queued up.
Yeah. He's queuing that up, maybe some extra regen, and once he gets that, he'll be good to go in lane. But, you know, at the same time, top lane's going fine for the offlaner there as well. Bristleback has a Soul Ring as well as 2 Mangoes left. He's got level 2 Quills.
If you spam out hard enough, I actually think it's sort of hard for the Ursa to kill you.
Oh, for sure.
You just run away from the back. It's the same thing as we were talking about with the Timbersaw matchup, where if you get enough stacks built up, it's not the worst thing. And in fact, he's getting out harassed.
I think level 4 they can actually kill RTZ if they can push Fly away somehow. The problem is they can't really go for goose stacks while Fly can just purge him off with Fortune's End. Oh, mid lane gets a little bit close, but Quinn actually gets his Haste Rune denied. Roya got close enough to it to be able to attack the Haste Rune that was on the ground, so Quinn is left with an empty bottle. A tad unfortunate, but at the same time, Quincy crew is looking pretty good in the CS department, mostly due to that mid lane.
Top lane, too.
Yeah. You can see every single time Arteezy kind of wants to man up, he takes so much quill damage, eventually he has to back down.
Dire don't look too scared of
If
Radiant's
anybody's
white
curious, you can dispel the goo, but you cannot dispel the stacks. Oh, SVG. Whoa, Yawar, did you see that? He spawned skeletons, and a skeleton jumped out in front of that arrow.
The boys.
The boys protected the man. And SVG back over to the top lane. Fiver's going to be the target of some aggression here, and MSS won't be able to help him out here. Setting kill to Courier and gets Fly a little bit low. Maybe he's going to stick on to Arteezy
pretty low here.
Yeah, he's got 4 different stacks here. They're going to try and separate Fly with the Fortunes and MSS.
He doesn't want any more stacks.
He's not in range anymore. He's going to be able to get a 3rd stack up, but most of the fear is gone from RTZ. He actually went for a 2nd level 1 Bristleback. Fully committing to just being able to sit in lane and win through out harassing and out CSing. Not a bad idea. It certainly seems to be working. 25-8 compared to the 22-2 of the Ursa. It's just the kill that's making the difference in net worth.
And all 3 CS charts in favor for all the Quincy crew. Right now.
He might be able to get him, but Bulba, the stun lasts just long enough for you to be able to get out of that Inkswell stun.
Bulba's bulletproof, man.
They're going to have to coordinate that a little bit better next time. See if they can Inkswell slightly before they go for the Wraith Fire Blast.
And let's see if this last pick Invoker has a little bit more impact this time around. I think the Void Spirit is fine against it, matchup-wise. I'm not sure if you ever die or anything like that, but I think Ryoyo will at least get a little bit of farm, and then I think they anticipate him roaming around the map, and that's exactly what he does. He has his urn. He wants to try to pick up a kill here. He's not too fussy about who it goes on either, Cap. He just wants charges.
Yeah, charges mean everything, and unfortunately for him, here's a melee creep that is hitting the hard camp top lane. Oh, Quinn actually managed to get the kill off Flying. It looks like they're going to be able to chase him. Arteezy underneath the tower. He is definitely dead. As Yawar shows up after that attempted gank from the Invoker. They're just going to look to trade towers here, but much to the favor of Quincy crew.
Yeah, and they all got out.
Yeah.
They have a ward down there. Really nice ward. that lane ward spotted Ryoya coming in, and I
If you're
think
looking for Radiant's
they
bottom
anticipated
tower,
that move.
So the first rotation from Roya fails, and he was already down in CS as well. He needed a kill to kind of bring things back, especially after it was the Roya last pick Invoker in the first series, right?
Yes.
That did not go well
Against a Shadow Fiend. Oh my god, he got... there are words that I can't say because I'm on an ESL broadcast, but he got crushed.
It wasn't pretty. Several times I had to avert my eyes. Got a weak stomach. 2-1, 8 minutes in. Quinn's cutting creep waves behind the tower, so his creep wave can do as much damage to the mid tower. You are. Oh, he's getting below. He doesn't actually have his level 6. Ortiz gets the kill. They did not expect somebody to show up in that top lane. Quinn, nice dodge with the dissimulate. He's actually going to go for the kill on the fly. He already killed him once. He's going to try a second time, but crit. It's all a fate, but Quinn sees it coming. He managed to definitely dodge that arrow. Nice stroke of fate is able to finish him off, and now with an extra bit of haste rune, Quinn's going to think about a secondary kill here, but he no longer has charges, so...
And no tornado means that no follow-up there is.
Oh, he goes back in. Look at this. Quinn, he's going to be able to... Oh, the arrow actually lands, but not before he managed to get off the Ether Remnant. That extra bit of disable is going to be enough to get the kill onto Roya. Now the dissimulate, he gets away from Boulder, who pump fakes the stun a couple of times. Instead of going for the Void Spirit, he wasn't able to get that kill. Instead, they'll just have to accept SVG as a sacrifice.
This time they're getting run at a lot faster. They will lose the ward for that. But well worth it as they pick up a few kills there, including the kill on the Invoker. That's the big one for them.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
And it's not like Arteezy's having a good time either. In fact, top net worth for EG is Bulba, who, you know, they didn't really focus on shutting him down again. He is going to be doing pretty well for himself. But once again, Arteezy lost his tower, not in the easiest position, and MSS off to a hot start again. We'll see what he can parlay that into this time around.
I expect Bulba with a similar game plan to game 2, where he picks the Centaur and he just, after a successful or somewhat successful lane, he just sits mid. Protects that tower. Roya certainly cannot do it. He takes way too much damage, and now Bulba's going to be chased down. Small stun. MSS does have a level of viscous nasal goo. Now Fly is going to be needed to protect Bulba. He's going to use the Fortune's End to be able to purge off some of this. It also managed to hit both Quinn and MSS, locking them in place. Bulba's going to be able to get away. They do have a Stampede if he wants to use it to save Fly's life, but Fly, he saved Bulba, and Bulba says, see you later, bud. He still has that extra movement speed, and Arteezy might need it here as he chases down Viver. The Icarus Dive just comes back up, so this attempt at a kill will never work for our tour.
Yeah, and he's gonna still chase, but he doesn't have his Earth Shock, so no real gap close to him quite yet. He's getting harassed out pretty easily. Gotta be careful. Dipping a little bit low, does have the Enrage, but the Bristleback instead will be the target. They do have
Tornado stop. Okay, Stampede, that gets him close enough to be able to land the stop, and they double edge to make sure the Bristleback does die. But trading offlaner for offlaner doesn't feel the greatest for EG.
Yeah, especially because Bulba died first, so he doesn't get any sort of experience for that, and he is the highest net worth on his team.
Yeah. And also, Arteezy joined that fight, as did Roya. He's playing a timeout here, just focusing on farming. Arteezy does manage to find a secondary kill here on SVG after he dodges that Ink Swell.
And we saw his Ursa earlier. It just gets aggressive on the map. They just want to fight, fight, fight. But the Wraith King is, you know, kind of ignoring all of this. He's going to hit a pretty decent Radiance timing if he doesn't die anytime soon.
Tornado MP, so hard to land that combination with Dissimulate being such a free, get out of jail free card. I guess the implication would it should always be free. 7-5, 2,000 net worth lead, and QUINCY crew, they're gonna smoke up with Quinn and leave Bristleback into the mid lane, so he can get a bit of farm to complete whatever team fight item he's going. Looks like it's Guardian Greaves. And they can try and invade the jungle. Now, Crit They don't want to run into him. He's super mobile, and he's not that important. What they really want is Arteezy, and Biver has already had him scouted. Arteezy just stacked up that easy camp, so he's going to go back to it. And Quincy crew, they should know. Quinn's going to jump forward. Leading off, the Remnant is going to be able to catch Arteezy, but he managed to get off the enrage, slowing down that stun. And it looks like the Supernova is going to be way off the mark. Arteezy's going to be able to escape the gank. Drop down, tornado into an arrow. MSS facing the wrong direction too, but enough backup from the rest of Quincy crew. It shouldn't really matter. Arteezy's being doubled into a dangerous position, and a jump forward from Quinn catches him as he tries to get out there. Fly's going to be caught by a beautifully placed Aether Remnant by Quinn.
What do you think the plan there was for Arteezy?
No idea. I mean, he saw many heroes try and gank him. He had to have known that Quincy crew was there in force.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
And once again, the last pick Invoker not really working for EG.
No, it's not.
He has no farm. He's getting outpaced pretty hard by the Void Spirit, who is second in net worth. He's had himself a very free time, and it's just not really slowing down the pace or even picking up the pace. Not really doing anything for the pace. Just kind of running around towards the mid lane.
There is no pace.
There's no pace. They're just kind of getting ran at, and it's a 4K gold lead already.
Yeah, and we almost have a relic, so that's about to pick up even faster if we get that big farming item for UR. And this is not the same kind of lineup as that Naga Siren against Wraith King, right? This is a lineup that will get outscaled quite heavily by a Wraith King. Am I wrong in saying that?
I don't think you're wrong in saying that, no.
Jump forward in mid lane. Aether Remnant's going to miss. Roya goes the other direction. Nice dodge, but he's not going to be able to get away from this Inkswell. There's just not enough mobility in the world to get you away from that deadly combination of Void Spirit plus Grimstroke. Now Phoenix, he's going to be caught by Arteezy. Arteezy looking for that kill. Enraged to take off some of that Aether Remnant stun. Slowed down anyway, but now he's going to be kited out. Oh, yeah, the double goo with the Soul Bind is going to slow both of them down. Here comes that Inkstroke stun. He will manage to get it onto Bulba, slowing it down just a bit more. And stacking up the goods into the backline fly. Somehow he ended up behind everybody else. Look at MSS quickly get rocked down by Biver. MSS now just bullying the hell out of Evil Geniuses. He says, this Bristleback hero, way better than a Legion commander. I am feeling it right now. I've got a pipe. I can take any kind of damage they throw at me. As he marches forward once again, Quinn, he's going to try and jump onto Roya. They do manage to get a small stun, follow up the Aether Remnant as far as the good enough to be able to get the kill. Supernova on out. Quinn tries to turn, go for the egg. He needs 2 more seconds. He's not going to get in time. He's going to get stunned up, and the rest of the team is going to be separated from Arteezy. Now has to turn and go for the hopeful kill. And Biver, he just needs one swipe. He knows he's dead. He just wants to attack things and go. But it's not there. He can't even get that crispy chicken down. Now it's going to be Sunrise into Bulba. Aether Remnant pull back, and they ignore Centaur for a moment. Deal with Fly first because they know he has his ultimate, so they can turn back into Bulba in peace. And he'll rest in pieces alongside Crits, Evil Geniuses. That was a wipe.
This last pick Invoker is really not pulling out for them right now. And this Void Spirit is just getting in there. These combos that they're laying out, they can't kill anybody. EG just doesn't have damage for anyone. Not for the 4 Phoenix, not for this 5 Grimstroke. They can't really get on top of anybody. What? They have damage issues, initiation issues, they just have issues.
And EG was doing this exact same thing to Quincy crew earlier. What is it about these two teams that they just like stomp back and forth? There seems to be, as soon as a team gets an advantage, they just roll over the other one repeatedly.
I think this game especially is a draft-related issue. The fact that they don't really need this Wraith King and Yawar is able to just farm during this time lends itself
back to it. You can see that tornado, it dispels off, but it also makes the Inkswell stun right away. The Supernova really well placed. It was confidently placed on the front lines, knowing that EG could not turn around, especially with Arteezy a distance away.
Yeah, and you see him fall in to try to get that kill, but he's just getting kited. And Bristle, yeah, just not really getting countered. Oracle plus Ursa versus the Phoenix Bristleback doesn't really feel like they were able to do too much, even though they did get first blood. MSS had the freest time, and this time around he was able to really play out his hero, wasn't really forced into any sort of moves that he didn't want to make. Easy game for him so far.
MSS will get the last hit on the tier 2 tower. They're all setting up on Biver right now with this Moonlight Shadow, but Biver, not only does he have Icarus Dive, he also has Force Staff and Supernova ready to go. He is not the easiest support to kill, and knowing that, especially how safe he was around that tier 2, they give up. Focus on farming for now, but if they do that on that side of the map as well, Quincy crew will take full advantage of it. They've got a Bristleback and a Wraith King. They've got the sustain, they've got the minus armor. They can do Roshan at any time. EG knows it though. The arrow's gonna come in, doesn't actually land on anything, but the initiation was found onto Roya. He's gonna be protected, but now the double fight, that's not gonna stop it. The false promise may have saved Roya, but he's still gonna be chased by MSS.
MSS doesn't care. Look at this. He's gonna zone out all 3 heroes. Bulba doesn't have Stampede now, and Ryoyo is doing his best to try to do something here as Arteezy is in no man's land.
Once again, he is completely isolated from his team, and Quincy crew just doubled down on him. Meanwhile, MSS, he was sitting there looking at, he probably wasn't even clicked on his hero. He was clicked on Roya, he was looking at that Spirit Vessel recipe in his backpack, and he was just laughing his ass off. He's like, this is the freest game, I can do whatever I want.
He would be entirely correct here. There's no way for them to threaten him. He's got pipe, 20 stick charges that he doesn't need to use. Once in a while he needs a tango just as an act of dominance, I guess. They're going to give the Aegis to the Wraith King, who now has 3 lives.
Every single time they go on somebody, they lose like less than a third of their HP. As seen from Quinn here, who's going to quickly heal up. Doubles his damage onto Bulba. Well, at least if EG does kill anybody, there's some hefty killing sprees to be caught. Dominating streak on Biver.
Hey, Biver's 7-1-7 right now. He's been in 14 of his team's 18 kills. This has been a very good Phoenix game for him as Ryoyo gets TP canceled, and they're actually going to guess wrong. They've got no detection from him, it looks like.
Well, that's a little bit foolish, but back over to mid lane. Yoar being chased. Dude, he's got Aegis and Reincarnation. I can't imagine that any fight starting on going on the Wraith King is a good one, especially with MSS in town. He the remnant catches Bulba right as he goes for the Stampede, so he just gets pulled back into his own doom. He's going to be saved by Flight. Good use of the false promise, but eventually he's going to be burned out by the Radiance if they could see him. Fortunately, the Moonlight Shadow is currently protecting them, and all of a sudden, Arteezy is once again left completely by himself, isolated from his team, because they're all trying to play in the base right now, and Arteezy is playing closer to the Radiant base.
Yeah, it always feels like, especially in this game, they're trying to make something happen. Yeah, they're not going to waste any more time. They are already up 2 games, so I think this one was, they kind of realized they can never get into a straight-out 5-on-5 fight. And once again, the last pick Invoker not really working out for EG. I think they wanted a Spirit Vessel carrier, but they needed something else. I think their safe lane had some issues too. Like Snapfire plus Ursa would be very
you